This is one of the wonders of the crypto market. Everyone is looking for a big drop in the price action, and the price is saying, I'm not dropping, I'm still standing at $52,000. So the move from 38 to 52 has surprised a lot of people, showing the enormous strength in the buying side. But if you do look at the momentum in the market, this is what you're observing. You're watching that the daily is still pushing to the upside, weekly is heavily biased to the upside, meaning each and every time when you do drop and then reverse, do drop and then reverse, you get to see the price action moving back to the upside. Now, while you do that, you may consolidate in that range once and then break it through before you go for a corrective leg. So here we are, we've actually done this leg. So maybe we'll correct after breaking through this. But, if you do look at XRP, it's also turning that one phase. That move is interesting because you get to see these kind of turns after some time. And this kind of a move here, that's going to open a lot more upside for us, which actually goes a long way. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. While we look through the market, we still look at this and see that's $2 trillion and we're still there. That's great. Yes, we do see some of these assets correcting, but we do see some of these assets bursting. Say LPT is up 64% for the day, but remember at one point it was like nuts. It went up way higher and then it slowed down a bit. But if you were in the SI family, we knew this was coming, but it did take some amount of patience. If you were holding this asset for 2-3 months, with spot trade without any leverage, now you are up like 100%. So the market does reward you if you get the right information at the right time. And that's what the SI family gets all the time. Now, when you do go back in the market to understand what's the sentiment like, what we can expect in the short term, and then you zoom out to see what we're looking for the medium term, this kind of gives you a lot of idea. One, the market actually went up, it got extended somewhat. Now the structure, the price structure which we're observing here can be the 1, a 2 and a 3 section. Now this entire waveform or price structure here is going to be really helpful for each and every one of us to argue that, okay, getting back to this leg would be perfect. Now, how much should the price drop to reach that level to retest? It's just 10%. That's not a biggie. We've seen the price dropping 21% recently, so 10% is like the norm here. So this trend is still to the upside. Now, one of the key element which we all have to keep in mind is if you do take the understanding of what the market is doing and the trend line, then we kind of come here, we want to see, okay, this is where the price action was being supported, this is where it was getting resisted. So we're now trying to make sure this is a support that turned into a resistance, then a support, then a resistance, then a fake out at the resistance, a fake out. Now where are we? So that's what I'm personally looking at. Like, okay, if we do correct back down, is there any version of this where the market is going to surprise us? If the market drops 6% and then bounce back up, say from 49,500, that's going to be a surprise move. Now, that's a medium to long term trend line. If you do remove this one and say, no, I'm not looking at that, I'm looking at this, that still is fine. You're above that trend line. So if you're a short term guy, you're out if the price drops below 3%. But when you do zoom out, you get to see, yeah, the price can still fake this one out and come back down to 49. That's okay. It won't be 51. It would be 49,500. I don't think that make a huge difference for you, me, and others, because while this corrective move happens, we are watching that our asset XRP started from 0.49, came up to 0.57. Now it's getting resisted. Now, this is a short-term resistance. We are all watching that. We reach that leg. We are testing that one. Usually, what end up happening in the market is that RSI breaks through, it goes up, the price comes to the resistance. RSI retest and bounce either the newly found trend line or the previous trend line, and that's where you get to see the breakout. So yeah, that's another week of patience which we are talking about for XRP. But when you enter the market, say you're looking at various different assets, say let's pick one. The volume is decent here in Chilis. You go look at Chilis. You want to see how the market is reacting. Are we breaking a critical level? Is the price action trying to make a new trend? It all makes a lot of sense to see the price is breaking through new local highs, making new local highs. That gets to be like, if you zoom out, that's where the real perspective is laid out. I mean, for me, I would say this support turning into new support is perfect, because at one point it was a resistance. Great. Now you're like, okay, that's an entire zone of support resistance now acting as support, which is perfect, right? Now, is that all? No. There is another leg. That's what some people miss when you focus on just a short-term leg. This area and this breakout is going to be a huge opportunity for sure. Now, it's not just one asset in the market showing you that. You're going to see a lot of these assets going up. When you see the gaming, the sports, that segment of the market, the metaverse start to break through, there's a lot of assets which are about to pop through the roof. For sure, there are few which are on the medium cap, the small cap. We are going through all of them in the SI family here. So if you'd like to take a peek at that to see these kind of opportunities coming before they play out, look at the SI family. You can reach out using this link in the description below in YouTube or about in the Twitter, in the bio session. Now, when you do see the breakout like this, if you're a normal trader, you're not complex, it's fine. You take this. That's 350% to the upside. That's a decent gain when you plot to the upside. That's not a small move, which is great. If you're a short to medium term trader, that's all you want. But you do get to see how the wave structure projects this to the upside. You do get to see what the pattern shows you to the upside. All of these on a macro gives you the advantage in the market, because this is a time where assets are trying to reverse from that drop to 3.5x of the trading portfolio. Now we are back up to 6x. Why? Because we rebalance and we are in the perfect assets, in my opinion, which we are riding to the upside right now. We're watching a lot of these assets go higher. And earlier today, we've been taking profits, skimming profits from different assets, maybe 100%, 90%. That's discipline. So when you do look at the market and put the argument like, okay, I see that the momentum is shifting to the upside and I'm happy. Perfect. But is this momentum long-term momentum, or can we see the exact same momentum when we zoom in? As of now, you still have this. On a daily, you're still making these kind of moves, which is fine. What we would like to see is that we want to get the same momentum following up on a short term. See, the confusion is the price went up to this range, we're still staying there. We're not breaking to the downside, retesting and getting rejected. We're not doing that. Whether we like it or not, it's not happening right now in the market. So when you look at this, it's like, okay, each time the price comes back down to that 51,500 level, someone is buying more and more and more of this asset. Someone is interested in buying this asset. Perfect. You do the same on XRP. We have the momentum going all the way into a short-term chart, which is a 4-hour chart here. And you're watching that the price is drawing back to the moving average, which is something we would like to see, because this range of support resistance turning into a new support is going to be huge for us because the breakout was here. And if you're not coming back down to this range to retest, that's juicy, meaning there's a lot of people who are interested in buying this asset without even waiting for it to come back down to this retest range, which is perfect, right? Now, that goes back into the overall picture. You need to look at the macro. What's the dollar doing? It's showing you it's slowing down a little bit, which is cool. Then you go on a daily and it shows like, yeah, it's slowing a little bit down. So it has a short-term corrective leg coming in. Maybe it's just this and it's going to go back up. But while that happens, you need to follow crypto market to see how we are responding to that. Are we getting more momentum? If we do, that would actually recognize that the market is being super bullish. So yes, the market, the news, the narrative, all of them are positive. But having an enormous amount of discipline and patience and being able to understand which of these assets are at a right position, a breakout, a target, each and everything, that's where you get to see the advantage in the market, right? So when you do come back into the market, I would always argue, go look at a 3-day chart, go look at a weekly chart, go look at a monthly chart, and then decide what you're going to do. If you still believe the fact that the market is done here, remember, while this market was confirming this particular candle, the monthly candle of Jan, a lot of people were putting the argument, we are not going above that. Right now, this is following the history. You had this one, but you went all the way up, and it's still 16th of the month. Are we going to come back down and close? I'm not sure. But as of now, you're making new local highs, and that shows you huge interest in this asset. Historically speaking, when you do go through that range, you get a blow off the top at some point. Are we going to get that this month? I don't know. Maybe next month. No one knows. But that's coming really, really soon. Because when you go back in history, you do get to see that the market, when it actually does these kind of moves, so it's like 5 months of positive volume here. Right now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th month where we are heavily in positive. This month, we are about to test this. So by late this month or early next month, if we enter into this phase, the overbought zone, history will rhyme. At that point, saying, I didn't see that coming, won't be the right answer which you would like to look at. Because historically speaking, we have seen these kind of long wicks, but then you consolidated a little bit and then went on to make a new high. Right now, maybe it's the supply shock from the ETFs. We are not taking 3-4 months to go up. Someone is in a hurry buying up this asset. I guess who that is, right? So the supply and the demand creates the price. So once you understand this, now you're like, okay, let me break this down. So we had way lower buying volume this month till this date. Yes, we still get another a couple of weeks to push the volume up. But as of now, with this amount of volume, you're already creating such a bullish engulfing candle. That's huge in itself. Now you zoom in, you want to see, okay, fine. Are we following that up on the weekly? As of now, no. Last week, even with lesser weekly buying volume, you pushed the price up from 42,600 all the way up to 48. Great, perfect. This week, with a lot more volume, you're not being able to push that. It's at 47, 48, and then you pushed all the way up to 42,500. So you got more buying volume, but you're not being able to push the price too much to the upside. And that's exactly where the negative divergence is starting to develop. Now, are we going to get it this week? Are we going to get it the next week? No one knows. But when we entered this phase, I told you what for next 2, 3, 4 weeks, where things are going to change. Because we are all expecting the price to go down and the price keeps going up. This is what we have seen historically. So you saw the monthly, you saw the weekly, you check the 3-day, and it's like, okay, the last 3-day candle was increased volume. The price action shows you, yeah, I have increased price action to the upside. This is just starting great. You just need another day. And then you get to see, okay, that much of buying volume didn't end up on anything, or that much of buying volume puts the price up. So we'll get to see all of this happening very shortly. And this is where we get to ask the question like, okay, we had decent buying volume and we still have a decent price action. See, this candle was a little bit of surprise, meaning you got almost same buying strength compared to this candle, where you pop from this range to this, but the next one didn't do much. However, the next one here, this is lesser buying volume than this, and it still has a decent price action than the last one. Okay, fine. Now, this is where things get a little bit confusing. You get to see the buying volume is being neutralized, price is getting neutralized. So if you do see the price action breaking below 51,500, I would show a short-term corrective like coming back down. You will have to look at two of these levels, 50 and 48,500, say 49. Close to that is going to be a great range, because this range is going to attract a lot more buyers at that position. But when that price drop happens at that range, if it happens, we want to see, are we confirming a negative divergence? If we do for some reason, okay, that's cool, guys. Money is going to flow into the alts like crazy, and that's where you will see a lot more of these kind of pops, 30, 40, 50, 60% move on a single day. Now put that into perspective for XRP. XRP doing something like this is like 0.7, 0.8. It's bursting through. A lot of people miss. And it's not just XRP. This is the market with 60,000 coins. Even if you focus on the highly fundamental, highly liquid asset, you get to see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 assets. So make sure you understand the opportunity and you take your position correctly. So guys, if you received value, smash that like button for me. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.